What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and I'm back in the building. And this time I'm back with a recap of Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 3, episode 6. Okay, so first up, we have Karen, and Karen lets us know that she has a hair company with Icon Enterprises, and they're like the umbrella company of helping her launch this beauty empire that she wants to create. So she has the hair company and now she wants to work on a fragrance. And she is talking to her husband, Ray, about this. What I felt was really interesting was she just kept telling him she needed his support. But I'm looking like, bitch, he needs your support with the taxes. And so how is he supposed to support you? And he only got so much money for his motherfucking situation. But Ray told her ass in so many words. He was like, well, it'd be good if you have double the money that you think that you're going to need to start this entrepreneurial business. And it would be good if you really didn't need a lot of help, which is, bitch, don't ask me for the money because I ain't got it to give to you. That's what I took. I don't know what you guys took, but that's what I took from old Ray. Ray just looking like, baby, you own your own, And I was like, damn, their relationship this season is very different from before. It's some shit is gonna come out in maybe the next episode about Ray maybe has asked Karen for a divorce. I don't know if that's true. We'll see how that plays out. But I felt that was, and I know he's having his tax issues, but for him to, I don't know. It was just almost like he didn't want to really support her. And I understand he probably doesn't really have the money like that to support her, especially if his business has tax issues. But I thought that right there was a little weird. But he gave her a kiss and say, honey, I got your back and I support you. I guess, child. Okay, so next we have Monique, Charisse, Ashley, and the new girl, Candace. They are all together at some rejuvenation spa thing. I don't know what the fuck exactly they go be doing. But anyways, Monique tells us that, she's been going through a lot because, she's been so busy working on her Lazy Mom's website, working on her new charity she has with her husband. She still has not found a nanny for her kids. Bitch, you have the fucking money. If I had Monique's money, I would have a nanny like that. Go get these motherfuckers background check. Go see if you can get a family member, somebody in your family that lives nearby. Like, there's a way to really do this shit. Go to one of those top agencies. They drug test the people. They, test their psychology. And then even still, though, you taking a risk with having people watch your kids. Motherfuckers is crazy. They may pass all them tests and they still could be crazy, but at least you did all you could do. But yeah, I'm just still tripping off of her on this whole, I still haven't found a nanny. Bitch, you got the coins. You bragging any other time about how much money you got. Okay, so all the ladies get inside this machine and it's supposed to help them to have very nutrient dense blood flowing everywhere by the time that they come back out into room temperature. Don't ask me what the fuck they doing because I have no clue, but I guess these ladies all needed it. So the ladies all began to talk about Giselle, and they talked about how Giselle had on this top with shoulder pads. They was making fun of her, especially Monique. And Monique was just like, she better be lucky she pretty, because if she was ugly doing half the stuff she does, it would just be a shame. And I was actually happy to hear Monique say that Giselle was pretty, because we really never heard a compliment from Monique to Giselle. It was always an insult. So I was happy to hear that. Giselle didn't look bad in the picture that they're talking about. I don't know what was the big deal, with the picture. So Monique brings up the fact that Giselle had mentioned was Candace's mother gonna pay for the rest, I guess she was gonna pay for the wedding. I think she asked, did she pay for the ring? Did she pay, And then Monique is just like, I thought that was so rude and that was wrong. Candace, you cannot be telling these women all your business. That's your storyline of how your mother paid for everything. And you sit up here and you be on this Candy Mama Joyce. You be on that little soapbox of, oh, well, can't nobody say nothing about my mother. Your mother is paying for all this shit to control you, bitch. I know, because I went through the same thing. And I used to be, oh, well, my mother just loves me. And no, all that shit is for control, honey. All that shit is for control. So she could tell you what to do. If she got you, she done bought you a car, she gonna tell you who need to be in that motherfucker. If she paying the rent, well, I don't like that person, I don't want them at the house. Like, controlling. So she doesn't respect you as a grown woman. This situation, Candace, with your mother, it's just a lot more serious than you're taking it, and you being on the show is kind of like now you got to really deal with it and see it for what it is. I'm not saying Giselle was right for what she asked, but at the same time, you keep offering up information to these women. What do you expect? So Charisse ends up taking up for Giselle, like, well, I kind of felt like that was a fair question because you had stated that your mother does do a lot for you. And so Monique and Ashley, they was like, no, she was being shady. That was being shady. And it could have been shady. It could have been fair. All's fair when you dealing with these bitches on this show. So if you knew that you was going to have a problem, Candace, with your mother paying for all your shit, you shouldn't tell them that. That didn't have to be a part of your storyline. You came on here just like Monique. Monique came on here bragging. Well, I got this and I got that. And we see her as a fucking braggart. Isn't that how we see Monique? So that's how we look at you. Like, my mama does everything for me. You that type of chick. So I see what Charisse is saying, because she was like, how old are you? And then I guess Candace was like, I'm 30. And Charisse was like, you don't see a lot of parents doing all that for their children. And that's true. A lot of times you are on your own, and it really should be like that, because a lot of parents, they overstep boundaries. They're narcissistic. They use money against you. It's just a lot with that. So Charisse asks Candace, well, how does your soon-to-be husband's money compare to your money? And Monique jumps in and says, well, he got to have some kind of money. That ring is pretty big. And Charisse is like, well, did he buy that too? And they all fall out laughing. And Candace is laughing, but she's looking a bit offended. And then she says in her confessional, oh, Charisse trying to pull a Giselle. And it's just like, Candace, you are offering up the fucking information. What do you think these bitches are going to do? They're going to nitpick you, you know what I'm saying, to death, because you just giving up too much information. So Candace clears up any rumors that, Chris didn't buy her ring. She says he definitely bought the ring. And then she gets on Charisse. She was being shady. She says, you're unmarried, right? And then Charisse was like, no, I'm going through a process of divorce, yeah. You could tell Charisse felt uncomfortable. And then Charisse turns it over to Ashley. Well, Ashley, how are you and Michael doing? Ashley says her and Michael still have some very difficult things they need to resolve. And I believe it's mainly, the situation with her mother, which I will touch on that when we get to Ashley and Michael's segment. Ashley says that she has planned a trip to the Nemacolins Woodlands Resort, and she's invited all the girls so they can kind of, go on a little vacay, relax, have a good time. And the girls are excited to hear about this. I think Candace says, I love it there. Oh my God. So they show Monique driving that cute little daughter of hers around, her and her son. And she asked the little baby girl, she said, Milani, did you learn anything today? And the baby said, no. I thought that was so funny. She's so cute. And so Monique was like, well, I think y'all did something with some letters and some numbers. So that means you learned something, right? Okay, so next we have Giselle. She's packing up for the trip and she's kind of like, am I going to have fun on this trip? So anyway, she decides to do a little face chat with Sherman and let him know, I'm packing up. I'm getting ready to head out for my trip. I just wanted to, see your face before I left out. And she said he's been acting all weird, like he doesn't want to communicate. And Sherman was acting a bit distant. I don't know about you guys, I listened to the Breakfast Club interview that Giselle recently did, and I don't even know if her and Sherman is still together or if they are in a good place, because she kind of mentioned that he can't handle, not so much he can't handle fame, but he's kind of used to things being about him, and now it's about her, so I don't know how that's going to play out, you guys, but it was very weird. Sherman did seem very distant. Sherman, you ain't cute like that, honey, to be that damn distant, okay? Giselle threw that phone down, and I know what that means when you a little irritated with your man, honey. It's just like, oh, you acting funny. Okay, fuck you, So next we have Michael and Ashley, and they are going out for a bike ride. So Michael and Ashley, they, pull off to the side and have this conversation about how, the last event they was at with the bubble soccer they was playing, and how when it was time to eat, it wasn't no napkins, and Karen was flipping out, and Charisse, they was flipping out over that. And then Michael mentioned how Karen has been going through a lot. And then Ashley was like, yeah, I understand that. She also gave me a lot of good advice about my mom. And she pretty much had your side and was saying that I need to stop, supporting my mom so much. So Ashley ends up going off on this little tangent to Michael, saying she actually feels like her mother is ready for a change. I don't think so. Anyway, she ends up saying, well, I'm probably going to have to help her, for the next couple of months, hopefully she doesn't keep dragging me along. And then Michael looked at her ass like, bitch, don't you mean us? And then she hurried up and changed it and said, well, dragging us along. And it's just like, then it was kind of weird because they showed a clip of her mother a couple of years ago, Ashley saying she's going to buy her mom a house. And the mother was just like, well, no, I don't want to be a burden. I'm just looking like, you shouldn't have bought a house. If somebody has problems with paying their bills, wouldn't it be smarter for them to rent? Because buying a house is more bills and she ain't got no damn job or no money. Ashley's mother, I'm not trying to make fun of her, you guys, but mentally she don't look like, when I look at her face and I look at Ashley's face, it's totally different. It's like she's checked out mentally. There could be some kind of mental illness I'm sensing from the mother. That could explain why she keeping a man around that ain't got no damn job. I'm not trying to be funny, but that says a lot right there. Ashley, Michael asked you, what's the consequence after, you help her out for the next couple of months, and then what do you do, after you done did that? Like, what is the plan? And you don't really have one. You keep talking about you got to think about it. Ashley, you're going to have to let your mother go. I know it's painful, but you're going to have to let her go because it's not even just about you and Michael's relationship. Because if y'all was to break up, this situation would still be hurting you individually. So I just feel like you need to let your mother go. Try to work with her on budgeting and making sure she has a job. Do what you can to, help her first. And I say that, you guys, because I feel like that would make Ashley feel better rather than just leaving her alone. So I'm trying to be sensitive to that. But yeah, you gonna have to just let her be on her own. She is making a choice to have this man that does not work eat off of her. That's her business. But you have to stand for something. And I know we're taught that, oh, well, that person is your mother and your father and fuck all of that. If they causing you harm, stressing out your finances, getting in the middle of your marriage, you have to you gotta set her free. And if she comes back to you and got her shit together, then that's different. But you gotta let her go, Ashley, because it's causing you a lot of pain. I don't know about your relationship with Michael. I'm still side-eyeing it because I don't think you have a solid relationship with Michael if he's fucking around with young boys and giving them money. Like, that has been in the news. And so I don't know if Michael is even good for you. You know, this isn't really about you and Michael's relationship. It is, since Michael is giving, you know, the mother money and to buy a house, yes. But I'm just saying, individually, Ashley, you need to make a decision about your mother, or it's just going to drive you crazy. You just need to do it for you. But yeah, I don't know if you and Michael should be together if he messed with all these men and doing this shit. He seems like nice enough. And I do agree with him that your mother needs a consequence. She does. You know, you can't keep letting people eat off of you and there's no motherfucking consequence. I was a little thrown back by Michael making a comment, well, you're tougher on me than you are your mother. Michael, that's her fucking mother. She been knowing her since the day she was born. All little girls, whether your mother is a prostitute, a whore, a drug addict, if your mother was a little bit good to you, you go love your mother. That's what all little girls are going to do. So the fact, Michael, you sitting up here saying, oh, well, you forgive your mother more than you forgive me. And, you know, you can't compare yourself to this girl's mother. That sounds out of pocket, Michael. So next we have Robin and Juan, and he done bought her some outdoor hiking shoes, and she gives him a hug, and then one of the little boys say you should just give him a kiss. She gives him a kiss, and it's just like, Robin, you full of shit. So Robin ends up telling Juan that she's, you know, then found this house that she's going to flip, because y'all know she's flipping houses and shit now, and she's going to be doing that with her mother. She says that if, you know, she does it right, she could profit $80,000 to $100,000 off the house. And, you know, that sounds good career-wise for Robin. She says she's happy now that, you know, her and Juan is, you know, they getting their finances back together. Her career is taking off, and she's happy for him. But it's just like, Robin, I just see a beautiful woman with low self-esteem. I'm sorry. You know, it's just, I believe these two will be back together if they're not already. They're pretty much back together without the label. And I feel like Robin is settling to not have a label on their relationship. That way, if we hear anything that he's cheating, then she could just say, oh, well, we not together though, so it don't really count, you know. But yeah, it's just sad that she's settling for this. But I am happy that her life is getting back on track, you know, as far as her finances. So that's good. Okay, so next we have Ashley, Monique, and Candace. They are all, you know, at this little boutique doing a little bit of shopping before they go on their trip. And they get off into the whole thing of Charisse and the comment that she made about, did the mother buy the ring? And Candace was talking about how she didn't like that comment. Then Monique made a suspect comment saying, well, maybe, you know, she doesn't like her friend, you know, getting to know another friend or some shit, basically implying that maybe Charisse is jealous that Monique and Candace are getting along so well, you know, which I don't think that's what it is. Candace is very clear why they do what they do with you, because you tell too much of your business. You have to have boundaries with people. And I can speak to that, you guys, because, you know, we all want to be liked and accepted. And sometimes when we are telling people about our lives, we don't expect for them to be so judgmental. We're just telling them, just how our lives is, and they take that information and use it against us. Then we feel bad for sharing in the first place. So I do sympathize with Candace, and I believe they're doing all this to her because she is the new girl. So I definitely see everybody's side, but I just hope Candace get smarter with not telling them everything, because you can't tell people everything. Well, if you do, put a book, create your own motherfucking book and get paid off that motherfucker. That's what I would do. But I'm just saying, you can't be telling all your business, because people are childish, especially these type of women that catty want to use it against you. It's a housewife show. That's what they do on these shows. Monique, I felt like you were instigating a little bit, because if Charisse is your friend, why would you tell Candace, well, Candace, if that was me and she asked me if my mother paid for the ring that my man got me, I would have been all up in her face. I would have took them boots off. I would have stormed out of that store. That's just what I would have did. It's not that fucking serious for her to do all of that. All she simply has to do is stop giving away so much motherfucking information. So I felt like I side-eyed you, Monique, because I'm just like, why would you tell her that you would? I hate when people tell me how to react, and women do that a lot. Girl, I would have did this. I remember I had this situation with this lady I didn't like. This bitch kept doing little funny shit. And so I told this other lady about it, and she was like, oh, if it was me, I would have dragged that bitch. We would have been some fight motherfuckers, and I would be in jail and away from my child. So no, we don't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? I hate when people instigate like that. They always want to tell you what you should have did, and it could cause you harm, and you could be in jail. And you know what I'm saying? I just felt like she was instigating, and that was pretty messy. It would have been okay if Charisse wasn't her friend, but for Charisse to be so cool with Monique, she been saying this whole episode how cool they is. I was just like, no. And I think her intent was just for Candace to kind of step up and get them off of her. She kind of like encouraging Candace to, speak up for herself. I think that's what she should have more or less said. But all this, how she should have been all in their face, I wasn't here for that. So Monique ends up telling Candace, like, when you sense shade, you need to get on their ass. And I do agree with that. You do kind of need to check them, but you don't need to get all up in nobody's face like you about to fight them. And even Ashley made a comment like, I don't think Candace, she didn't say it with these exact words, but she was just saying that she doesn't think that Candace is confrontational like that. And Candace saying, she's like a hurricane. She go come through on that ass on them. So Candace, is trying on different outfits, and she starts crying, talking about how stressful it's been planning the wedding. And Monique just pretty much gave her a hug and told her, the same way I said you need to check the ladies in a group, you need to check family. That way you're not so stressed out. And Candace made this point of, my mother, we got a unique relationship, but, she just wants me to have the best. And my mother, she just won't accept the fact that I've grown up. She's always, if I'm 60, she'll still be telling me what to do. Candace, you are like so many other women. You guys really think that because somebody is your mother, it's okay for them to act like that. And it's not okay. It's controlling. It's narcissistic. It's abuse. That's why you are crying. That's why it hurts. No mother should treat their 30-year-old daughter like that. You have to back off. Yes, you want the best for your child, but you are going to have to let go and let them have their life. And you need boundaries with your mother, Candace. That's why all this shit is coming to a head on this show. It's letting you know what you need to change in your life. Ashley, same thing for you. It's letting you know you need boundaries with your mother. So next we got Monique. She done got into an accident, not with any other cars, but I guess she kind of fell asleep at the wheel, just for a brief second, and the car veered off, hit a tree, a small tree, and then almost a bigger one, I'm guessing. Anyways, she's okay. Her husband is at the house trying to get her to stretch out. She's still having some issues with her neck. And he's just like, you should just cancel this trip. And he just told her, don't go up there drinking too much. And she was like, oh, I'm not. Shit. She told you a lie, Chris. Anyways, Ashley brings her ass up acting all concerned. And there's some shit, you guys, going on between Monique and Ashley right now. I think there's a beef going. Y'all check out Layla Lynn. She's a YouTuber. She covered the story on Monique and Ashley and this whole accident situation. I guess Ashley tried to make it look like Monique just had too much to drink, and that's how she got into it. And Monique didn't like that. I think she did like an Instagram live on that. So y'all check that out. Oh, so Monique is on the little party bus while they're about to head to Nemacolin, whatever the fuck it's called. Anyways, Ashley says in her confessional that, cause Giselle was like, oh, y'all was drinking? Is that why you got into the accident? And then, Monique said, well, no, I had a few drinks. And Ashley said in her confessional, no, you had more than a few drinks. And I'm just looking like, damn, Ashley? So basically, Giselle, once they all start drinking, Ashley ends up telling this story about, living in a trailer park when she was younger. And Giselle, oh, you lived in a trailer park? You was in a trailer park? You had a few homes and one of them was a trailer park? It's like, Giselle, you are shady as hell. Then they was trying to tell her she was being shady. Well, no, that's just a question. Girl, stop. So Monique ends up sharing the story of how they were all together and Charisse pretty much insinuated that Candace's mother paid for her ring. So she's telling all the girls this, and Candace was like, yeah, that happened. It was a shady bitch moment. And that motherfucker Charisse was like, is you calling me a bitch? It wasn't a shady bitch moment. It was a question. I had the right to ask that question. So they go back and forth, child. So Giselle jumps in and is just like, well, no, who really paid for it? And then Candace is just like, my man paid for it. Did your mother pay for your shit? And Giselle was like, no, my mother, she don't do none of that for me. So Charisse is giving it to Candace, honey, talking about, I don't play with kids. And Candace is like, who's the kid? I ain't no motherfucking kid. And you ain't gonna be talking to me like I'm some 16-year-old. And then Charisse was like, you look like a child, honey. They go back and forth. Monique gets in between them. Giselle sitting up here talking about, oh, well, I think that Candace owes Charisse an apology. She shouldn't be saying all that. Giselle, shut the fuck up. Stay out of it. Candace is giving it to you older bitches. And I don't even like Candace, you guys, but I was all here for her sticking up for herself. Because I feel like regardless of how much of her business she's telling them, which she shouldn't, but don't antagonize her. Don't keep starting shit with her and treating her, like a little kid, and I could say whatever I want to her and she ain't gonna say nothing back. A lot of women, older women especially, they act like that with younger women, and it's not cool. Oh, and they showed the bottle of wine, I guess, and that motherfucking Monique, the damn near, Giselle has said she drank a little bit of that damn Monique damn near, she didn't finish the whole bottle. Monique, do we have a drinking problem, sweetie? Let me know. So all the ladies, they get to their house, they really like it, and, they have a meal that they're all about to eat. Everybody's around the table. So Giselle gets to the fucking table talking about how Candace owes Charisse an apology. No, she doesn't. It is not that serious. Giselle, you can't say whatever you want to this woman and she's to say nothing. Charisse can't do it either, okay? Candace has every right to take up for herself. Giselle telling us something. Well, Charisse is central to the whole group because if it wasn't for Charisse, we all wouldn't know each other. And did you feel that same way, Giselle, when you was talking your shit about Charisse? No, you didn't. So shut up. So Candace gets off into this whole thing of how Charisse should apologize to her for making the comment that her mother purchased her ring instead of her fiance. And I feel like Charisse should apologize because whether or not this girl offers up her information, you guys shouldn't be laughing and using it against her. And, it's just, you shouldn't do that to her. And that motherfucking, Candace said that Charisse and Giselle are hypocrites because they're both cat bitches. At least she ain't got to depend on no damn man. That was a good one because Charisse, if it wasn't for your ex-husband, I'm pretty sure you would have the money you have. And Giselle, I don't know with you because your husband was making all these kids on you, and I don't think he had a coin like that. But hell, you was married and you got you a little child support alimony settlement, I'm sure. So yeah, she's kind of right. You guys don't have the right to judge her, even though her situation is fucked up. You guys, y'all know I don't even like Candace like that. I don't think her mother should be doing all this shit for her. Like I said, I just don't feel like it's right for them to throw it in her face and judge her. And I'm pretty much on Karen's side because Karen was just like, Candace, I warned you about these women. I warned you. I told you can't be telling them all your business. And I'm with Karen. Candace, you can't do that, honey. You're not with women that's really trying to be your friends. You could tell that shit to Ashley and Monique. Don't tell the rest of these bitches your business. They will use it against you. So then Giselle ends up saying, oh, well, I feel like, Candace, you owe Charisse an apology because you was calling her names and you was calling her geriatric, old granny, when they was going back and forth. And I don't feel like she owes Charisse an apology. Charisse was calling her a teenager, telling that girl she looked like a teenager, calling her a child. You cannot talk about people. And then when they come back to bite you in your ass, you want to cry the victim. It don't work like that. Honey, that motherfucking Candace told Giselle to shut her fucking wig up, remain seated. And Giselle was like, I'm in my seat. You shut the fuck up. I was like, damn, I ain't never heard Giselle cuss like that, honey. The former pastor's wife, honey, is cussing and things, honey. So they get off into it. Ashley telling them to calm down because she's just like, shit, we still got more days together, you guys. Y'all can't be doing all this. But yeah, they bunched up on that girl. I don't even like the girl like that, but they were wrong. The older women was wrong, and that's how I feel. All right, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I am out.